Greetings, my name's John. I write and record music from home. I just want to share another one of my all-time favourite free plugins with you. Today we're going to be looking at Steven Slate Free Drums. My weapon of choice for creating music is the amazing Reaper. I'm going to be setting up a template with Steven Slate Drums. I know that not everyone's using Reaper, but hopefully what I do here might give you a clue of how to set it up on your DAW. To be able to grab the plugin, you need to create an account at the Slate site. The link is in the description, and the download's pretty straightforward. I'll assume that you've already got it installed. Right, I'm just going to create an instance of Slate Drums on an instrument track. Notice that when you install, you get prompted for extra outputs, but I'm just going to ignore that for now. We'll come back to that in a minute. So the create window, empty drum kit, need to load up some sounds. I'm going to go for this one because this is the one that I like and use. I've pretty much used this whole kit on pretty much every track of the album that I've just released because I love it. In the edit window, you can work on each individual part of the kit, adjusting the various mics, overheads, room mics and stuff until you're happy with the sound. I must confess I rarely use any of that. You can adjust the attack and release of each sound. Again, I've probably never used that either. In the mix window, you get all the adjustments, plus some faders like you'd get on a desk, so you can adjust the various mics for each part of the kit. Can't remember using that either. If you're using an external electronic kit like a Roland drum pad or something, you can reassign keys and all sorts of stuff there. Never used that either. This bit is my favorite bit. The drum library comes with loads of basic drum loops that are all extremely useful. The great thing about this was even with the free version, you could add your own additional drums. Perhaps in another video, I'll show you how to do that because it can be a bit fiddly if they're not set up in a particular way, but very useful. If you want to preview them, and then if you want to change the speeds, all good fun. Just give you an example of that speed change stuff. So take a drum loop out. So at the moment we're previewing at the normal speed. And then if you go down to the bottom, and I've changed the preview speed to half speed. And you'll see that that's automatically stretched the loop. I'll just quickly show you the settings tab, because if you want to locate your library somewhere else, there's an option to choose the path for that in there. There you go, might be useful. Right, so we added a virtual instrument track, find our plugin, and this time we're going to say yes please. We'll have all those outputs. Right, so we need to load a kit again. Go to create, choose that lovely one there. Right, wait for it to load. Right, so the mixer got various room mics as well as mics on the kit. We want to be able to assign those all to separate outs. Dead easy to do. Yep, so if you go along the bottom here, we're just going to go right along and send them all out to separate outputs. This great thing about Reaper, it makes this stuff really easy, this assignment stuff. You can do it by hand, but it just makes me cry. This is like watching paint dry, so I'm going to speed it up. Okay, that's those all assigned. As you can see, we've got far more tracks than we need. We only need 15, so we can delete the others. Select all those and send them to oblivion. Ta-ra. Right, the next thing I want to do is organize this so that my simple brain can process it all a lot easier. So I like to group things together. And the way I would start doing that, so I can see what I'm doing, is to color the tracks. So I'm just going to make both those bass drum mics yellow. Got 3 snare mics, so I'm going to give them all one color. You probably give them an orange, I think. The color is optional. An orange. I'm not sure I've ever used the snare ring, but I'm sure somebody will get some use out of it. And then we got, what's the next one? Toms. Let's select those 4 toms. Turn it back to yellow again. I think there are 5 toms available, but 2 of them are assigned to the same channel. And you can go through the rest of the tracks and just choose the colours that make the most sense to you. Don't forget you can preview any drum sounds by clicking on the icon. I'll just quickly show you the toms. I'm sure they're all coming out of the same group. Very good. There they are. Oh, we can pimp them even further. I'm a pretty visual person, so I like to use icons. I'm going to use the defaults that come in Reaper. Others are available, but I quite like the design of these. They're nice and clear. Shame there's not a bigger variation of them, but I guess I could design some myself. I'm not going to add any more icons now because that would be very boring to watch. Just like watching my appalling typing. That's extremely boring to watch, so I'm going to fast forward this bit. There you go. So that's snares coming out of the snare group. What I like to do is to then group them again into their separate instruments. So I'm going to insert another track. And then I'm going to make those 2 kicks children of that. The track. Make all those snares children. There'll be other tutorials out there about all this grouping stuff that will go into far more detail than I'm doing now. Do you know what? This is looking a bit scrappy and probably very boring to watch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up the template, which you can download from the link below, that I've already made to give you a better idea. Let's get rid of this sucker. Okay, so I've saved mine as a template. So I'm going to import my Slate drums. There we go, all nicely coloured. Got my little icons on there. I've included this little MIDI clip. I've been able to name the instruments there, so you could save them as a map or use them for manually creating your own beats, which obviously you can do, which I forgot to mention earlier on. So let's just grab something out of the drum library. I just want to get something playing so I can give you a better idea of what it looks like when it's coming out of the outputs of the groups. Right, let's hit play. Just probably better off looping this. Let's just do that. There we go. Having stuff grouped like this is so useful. If I wanted to roll off all the low end of my kick, I've only got to put 1 EQ on that group to do that. If I wanted to send all my snare mics to 1 reverb, I could do that too. I know there are no toms in this loop, but if there were, I could put 1 compressor across all of them as a group. That could save me some processing power along the line. I freaking love these drums. I love them so much that I have upgraded to the full version, but this free version is still extremely useful. As I said earlier on, I'd used it on my album. So as I ride off into the sunset, I'm going to leave you with a track playing from my latest album using Steven Slate Free Drums. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and a follow, and I'll see you again soon. Ta-ra!
Cause nothing ever changed.